Welcome back to Speedrun Ragnarok 2023. Once again, we are raising money in support of Take This, a charity supporting mental health in gamers and the game enthusiast community. You just saw a fantastic interview between Natara and one of the doctors working for Take This. But now, speaking of games, we're back to some fantastic games, and we have here NorthRex in his first marathon run, running Ogre Battle, the March of the Black Queen, any percent. How are you feeling today, NorthRex?
I'm doing fine. I had a nap, a snack, so everything is ready on my end.
All right, and of course, you do have a commentator with you, Error of Rudo.
Hello.
And usually the runners sort of introduce and the comms sort of introduce themselves, but I'm just going to help ease them in. But you know what? I'm excited to see this because this is a strategy RPG, and I'm sure you've got a lot to talk about. So when you're ready, let's get to it.
All right, sounds fine. I can start this anytime. Normally the timer should start when I hit new game. So I need at that point to know what name I put for my leader.
Okay, well, I do have to let you know that we have a tie. We talked about this a little backstage, and I was hoping the tie would be broken. But it is between Bob and Hope. They're both tied at $20 each. And I believe the rule for this is usually when it's a tie, the runner gets to choose the difference.
Oh,
Those are two great names.
Yeah, Hope is kind of a wink to BGG because most of the time we force him to name his character Hope, so that's kind of a joke. And Bob is a regular on my stream, so like Aswark is suggesting, I think that I will name my opinion leader Bob Hope.
That is a
Perfect.
fantastic name.
Alright, so timer should start at the moment that I click a new game. So I'll be doing a small countdown, so let's go in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Alright, so for starter, what's happening is that we are facing Warren. Warren is a seer and he wants to judge our opinion leader. By doing so, we will get a set of tarot cards, which are very good. Let me check. Okay, very good cards that we will use throughout the game, and that will determine what kind of opinion leader we have. By that I mean we have a choice between 4 kinds of leader: a good, a neutral good, a neutral bad, and an evil opinion leader. For the sake of the run itself, we are trying to get an evil opinion leader because it will have a better intelligence, and intelligence will be the main stat for any use of the tarot cards that we'll do throughout the game.
And it's important to note that these tarot cards aren't completely random, that you actually get a set of them based off of a certain RNG seed that you hit, and there is a way to manipulate that, but for this case, we're just kind of going with what shows up and what's best in each situation.
Exactly, because seeding the RNG in the game is pretty tight. You have to determine it at the start of the game as soon as the logo goes down, so it's a pretty heavy mechanic. Alright, so Castle of Warren. Each time the game goes like this. Each time you select a map and you enter the map. The location of the boss is highlighted like this, and you manipulate your unit to go at certain area like I do. So the idea for starter is that we have to discover what's happening in this map. We have many locations. For example, I sent my opinion leader here because there is a hidden city, and if you go to the boss at any given time without having discovered and liberated the city, he will tell you to do so and make you force run away the battle. So basically you don't have a choice, you have to go there to liberate the city and do whatever you are tasked to do. Each time you liberate a place, you get the opportunity to draw a tarot card. That tarot card will have a direct effect on whatever is happening. For example, I drew a Temperance, and the Temperance card in this case raised my reputation meter up to the top right, 2 points. Next, we recruited Lance, who is an old knight of the how can I say this? Of the old Zenobian kingdom, which is no more, by the way. And we're sending him there because there's a buried treasure. Now, buried treasure in the run does not have a direct effect unless we get some very good gear. Most of the time, it's only for a caution because we'll be using them to sell the items. That's basically also the same reason why I went to the Russian temple right here. Liberating it gives me the opportunity to first draw a card, and second, there's a chance like this, wow, that we get an item, Ogre Blade. That's a good weapon. Alright.
The randomly acquired items can pretty significantly impact the immediate how smooth the immediate objectives are going to go, because you can get some that are going to give a good like elemental damage bonus, which is pretty key against some bosses, and then you can also get some armor pieces that like boost intelligence, which intelligence is a very important stat over the course of this run.
Exactly. Right now you saw me put the tactics on weak. Basically, I'm not controlling any of my character's stats. They all act independently, but they follow the tactics that I give to them. If you set yourself on weak, you will get an additional bonus to your damage. Why? It's simply because the game does so. And we'll be abusing this kind of mechanics, going back and forth, so that we'll be targeting the boss as often as possible to maximize the damage.
The key detail for the target weak command is that it's going to target the enemy that has the lowest HP. So there are going to be times in some future boss fights where obviously the leader is going to have more HP than other characters, and so we're going to leave it on the target leader strategy to get them down, and then once they're below the others, swap it over to weak for that bonus damage.
Alright, so right now what I'm doing is setting up my opinion leader's unit so that he will be the main powerhouse, and he will be the driving force that I use to win all of the maps. So basically, I'm doing a killing machine. That may be exaggerated just a little bit, but still. By doing so, I make sure that my opinion leader's unit is actually a high sky unit, which is the fastest and has the lowest terrain restriction, because terrain also play a big part in this game. I also did a secondary flying unit because most of the time I'll be using this second unit, not most of the time, but on many maps I'll be using this second unit to help me achieve some objectives. So right now each time you start a map, you only have your opinion leader deployed. It costs you nothing. So once again, that's a mechanic that we'll be using. Most of the time, each time you liberate a city, you draw a card, and that card you have the option of keeping it or not. I won't be taking all of the cards because you have a set number of cards you can have, 20 of those, and of those, not all of them are actually useful. For example, Temperance will actually remove status applied to your characters in your unit, but that is a mechanic that is only used for one boss, the very last boss, on one specific occasion. So that is why I will not use it. Okay, Q-Nebra. Okay, that sounds interesting. So first of all, I'll be equipping the Ogre Blade on our friend the Griffin, he will gain a big boost on strength. So like Error said earlier, that will also change his element to darkness. At the very beginning like that, it's not much of a problem because he will not have a very big impact, but if he does damage, that will be all for the better. What's more, about all of the enemy units early on will not have a weakness or a strength against dark. Oh, that was a nice hit. So that's why I don't shy away from using dark weapon early. Oh,
And right there you saw an example of what I mentioned earlier, where once we got the leader down under the health totals of the trash enemies around them,
wow.
we switched over to weak to get the bonus.
Perfect
That was a good hit.
There we go. So each time you liberate a map, you will get money based on many factors. Two of them being the number of cities you have liberated and the number of days that you spend into the map. So basically, the more city you liberate and the less time you spend into this area, the bigger the treasury you'll get at the end. But right now I'm going back there because I'm fairly sure that I forgot something right there. So let's have a look. You have the possibility anytime to revisit area. In fact, that is strongly implied to be useful. You wish for the guard, yes. Hierophant puts any characters to sleep, save for the enemy leader. And the guy has found my wallet with 30,000 gods in it. Talk of a coincidence.
Yeah, the Hierophant card is it's a pretty good card. It's gonna put the enemy characters to sleep. It's almost as good as the Fool card, which will actually completely remove non-leader enemies from the group.
Exactly. The only thing that needs to be taken into account is that it will never work against the enemy leader himself. And in the case of Hierophant, the characters are put to sleep, so you can wake them up. If they waste a turn being asleep, that's fine, because the turn after they can still act. Basically, it's kind of like a round. So if you attack them, whatever the kind of attack you do, there's a chance you wake them, and after that they can act. Star card, that's a good card.
Kind of to go off of that concept of missing a turn, the way combat works in this game is that each class has specific attacks and number of attacks based on their position within the group, because each unit is divided into 3x3 squares, and whichever position they're in and their class combination decides what action they're going to take and how many they get. So some enemies only get one attack, so if they miss a turn, they just do nothing for the entire fight.
Alright, so I bought a lot of items. Those are a Joker Tarot. Basically, what they allow me is to draw any tarot card that I will. No, let me say that again. To draw a tarot card at any time instead of relying upon visiting a city. So that will be helpful, because the more we advance through the game, the more we'll rely on tarot cards. Now, the thing that you need to consider is that each time you use a tarot card, you actually use it based on the opinion leader's stats. And if you kill with a card, the opinion leader will reap in the reward, regardless of if he actually acted in the battle or not. So if, for example, I took a random unit and... Okay, that's a hit. Good job. And random unit and a random battle, and I use, for example, a chariot card, which killed the entire opposing unit, it was as if my opinion leader actually did the job. So it will be my opinion leader that reads the reward, the experience, and so on. Congratulations, you completed this map. Here's some money. Good job. Alright, so that being done, let's go back in Sharon, because somehow I got a clue. Somebody told me that there was something interesting into a neighborhood city. That's only
feels like we've been here a couple times.
Yeah, that's only a safety mechanic. In any true run that we do, we don't do it because we spend a lot of time doing it. And that means far less Joker cards to use, and the risk goes exponentially because of that. Alright, so this map has a particularity. The local boss here is a werewolf. As such, he will grow tremendously stronger during the night, so we want to fight him during the day, as it will give us a better chance of winning. So time is valuable in this map, because if you wait through the night, the enemy will switch into a werewolf. He will gain 3 attack instead of 1, very high attack power and very high defense power. During the day, he's very weak. So that is why we're trying to reach the area. Oh, full run. Nice. During the
That's
day.
a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple fights, particularly later on in the game, that we really want a full card. Because like the enemy leader is going to be surrounded by enemies and hard to hit.
Exactly. Buying a few sunshine. The sunshine item can set the time to high noon, which is very practical on certain occasions. Oh, alright. So we just liberated a hidden Russian temple where we will get the rune axe. The rune axe, oh, son, nice. I want to complete it. So as you can see, each card has an effect directly on the game. Sometimes it will be stat boosts on the characters of your unit, and sometimes it will be things that happens directly on the map. So Sirius here asks you to come back during night, of course, because right now he's weaker, so you have to answer no, otherwise you will be forced to run away, and we want to have an easy time. Oh my god.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Sorry. Yes, that will be a little bit of a time loss. Let me just have a second.
All right, well, while you get that set up, I'd love to take this time. I saw in chat earlier someone asked if the category is any percent or worse percent. And I do want to point out, we do have an incentive for that open right now. Your donations could make the difference between whether NorthRex finishes this run as any percent or goes for the worst ending. Now, the worst ending can also be called devil percent. And when I was looking up this run, I found out it might not exactly be marathon safe sometimes. But I don't know this run as well as you do. So Rudo, could you maybe tell me a little more about it while Rex gets us back online?
There we go. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, so this game does have multiple endings, and so kind of the difference between like the best ending and the worst ending is kind of like the typical heroic finish where like everybody's happy and everything turns out great and good for the world. And then you got the devil percent where it's kind of like you basically like sell your soul to win the war, and you know, devil kind of just takes over everything. So you save the world and then kind of doom it indirectly afterward.
Oh, that's lovely. All of our hard work definitely didn't go to waste or anything there.
Victory at all costs, right?
Okay, so sorry about that. What's happening is that my console, I'm actually playing on hardware, and I wanted to have a little sip of water, and alas, I simply hit my console. Kind of thing.
I'm gonna
in there.
say the water knew that right now Devil Percent is winning and didn't want to see that happen.
It's
Oh,
trying to
good.
buy time.
There's still time until we hit the city of Malano area, and even then, let me say that again, okay? So until we finish the city of Malano area, we still have time for this to be split. So people can still donate toward the ending they want. It's still fine.
All right, folks, you heard him. Exclamation mark donate in chat will get you that handy link to our Tiltify page. And when you donate, make sure you select the incentive, the choice you want your donation to go towards, because we can't change that on the back end. Right now, Devil Percent, also known as Worst Ending Percent, is winning. So if you don't want to see all of our hard work go to waste, if you want the world to be saved, put your donation towards any percent. It's just a $10 difference.
Okay.
And to answer the question in chat, this is the Super Nintendo version.
Yep. There's 3 ports of this game: Super Nintendo, PlayStation 1, and there's a Sega Saturn, I think, that was never ported to America, but got a translation a few months ago that I've played, and it's fairly interesting. Alright, so let's get back to business. Sorry about this mishap.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a marathon if everything went perfectly smooth.
Exactly. So once again, setting myself on leader, because as you can see, Sirius still has the higher hit pool of his party. Now I set every Amazon to sleep because I don't want them to do their animation. It will be a little bit faster, and it will mean a little faster battle. Now a week. Griffin hitting. Oh, and that's a miss. You can say if the attack actually hit or miss depending on where the animation strike. If it's slightly on the right, it means that the animation and the attack has failed. Simple as that. Good job. We just lost a good 3 minutes because of that little mistake, but pretty sure that we'll find it elsewhere.
Yeah, and kind of go back to the point you mentioned about the like skipping the Amazon's attack animation. One of the smaller details that turns into kind of a big deal, particularly in RPG speedrunning, is that enemy animations do take time. So you got to keep in mind that any time that you're in, not progressing the speedrun necessarily. So anytime that you're watching an animation that you don't absolutely have to see, you're just losing time. So finding ways to optimize cutting out enemy animations is one of the really effective ways to save time in a run.
Yep. Okay. So once again, we are going here. Nope, not yet. I'm thinking about selling the Ogre blade because I unbalance my money setup since I had to reset and forgot to come back there to pick my 30,000 bonus. So instead of 42, we should be around 56. That's not a huge difference, but that will impact on the number of Joker items that I can buy in the shop. So that's why I'm thinking about selling the Ogre blade, but now that the map is ongoing, I will not do so. Okay, so this area, it has a particularity. As you can see, the whole place is walled up. What this means is that unless you have a flying unit, you are unable to attack the enemy castle. That being said, there is a sub-quest and fairly easy to do in this map where you will get an item called the Termite. Thunder Helm, that's useless. I'll come back to what I just said in a few minutes. So if you use the Termite in any area where there are walls, they will be brought down. Now, Debonair here is the enemy general, and the particularity here is that he has two waves of attack. The first being only flying unit, and the second one being a land unit. And he will switch to his second wave as soon as the walls are brought down. So instead of 20 units that you will get to fight, you can end up doing 40 of those, and they are pretty strong. So you have to be prepared. Okay, so given that I haven't used my card, let me have a look. Okay, I have a few that I want to replace, so let's use a few jokers. Chariot will do physical attack against everything. Death is useless. Hermit is good. Tower is useless. Basically what I'm looking for are spells that I'll use through battle to help me do damage against Debonair, because he's the first boss that will actually pose a challenge to us. Okay, we're good with that. So I said earlier that the helmet was useless. It's because defense in this game is based on physical ability. And most of the time, if you try to raise your defense, it will only do a very little difference compared to equipping, for example, a very strong weapon. So basically, what we are looking for is any weapon that gives strength and elemental attack, or anything that gives intelligence is worthwhile, especially into the speedrun. That's a hit. Good job.
You know, I don't know about you, but I'm still kind of worried about the concept of termites that eat stone castle walls.
Definitely. Okay, 48, so he's in range. And my generic wizard hit him, so I still have 2 attacks from Warren and generic wizard to hit him. We're in good position. That's a miss. Warren, please finish this. There we go. Good job. Keep in mind we are severely under-leveled at this point. Most of the enemy units are around level 8 or 9, and we are barely level 4. And that will only grow increasingly large. So in an actual run, we finished the game at around level 15, I think. I'm not sure, because it's been a while since I've done a run. I've done practices. And the enemy units will be around 26 or 30, so that gives you an idea of how big the gap can be. That won't be true though, because we'll be doing some little bits of grinding here and there that will give us a lot of safety near the end of the game. Alright, so this is the last time, by the way, that we visit this wizard or this merchant, whatever he is. Good. Let's proceed. Island of Valon. That's the first bottleneck of the game. By that I mean, whatever path you take, you have to go through Zenobia, and you have to go through Island of Valon to progress. So here we have 2 objectives. Of course, we need to defeat the local boss, which is Prince Gers, but we can also recruit Aisha, who's a monk, and she will play a very big part into the run. If it's any run that we are doing, hint for donation, she will be instrumental, and if it's the devil ending, she will be useful. Do you wish to play card? Yes. Agility. Nice. That's helpful. So hello everybody, I would like to present you Aisha. What we'll do is deploy her unit. Next we will use a mass summon to bring her close. After that we go to her unit, change the leader to whoever we want. We want to have Aisha with us by generic wizard and move that way to the south to avoid dragon battles. Next, we move our hero right there because we'll be trying to pick a fight with the wizard unit. Now, there is a class of enemy or of characters, sorry, that are the undead. The undead has 0 hit point and cannot be killed or hit with physical, but they can be killed with holy magic like this. To do so, you can use, for example, anybody that is equipped with a holy weapon will have a possibility of hitting those, or as I just did, you used a monk and you set your tactic to whatever you want but strong. If you do so, they will use their spell to actually attack the undead rather than trying to heal your unit. So I can replace the Death, Temperance, and I have way too many star cards. Okay, that's not what I want. Okay, Emperor, that's a good card. Let's replace the Death, and I have 2 of those, so that's fine. Hierophant, no thank you, that's enough. That's good, that's a fire spell. Temperance. Alright, so the next boss, the next coming boss is Prince Gerst. At this point, he is very strong. His Evil Dead spell will do a lot of damage to us, and his physical will hurt us pretty bad. So we want to give ourselves all of the chances to win against him. So start to give ourselves a little better chance at hitting him. For spells that my Griffin will die pretty early. In fact, I'm in bad position. Ooh, 1 hit point, that's fine.
Yeah, the last one's the only one that matters.
Yeah, I'll do an Empress. It will heal me to full. Why? Because my opinion leader is pretty much in target for Gears if my Griffin falls. So I want to have as long as possible to do damage to Gears and hopefully kill him before Gears can swing his battle axe at my opinion leader. Otherwise, it can end up pretty bad.
Yeah, so elaborate a little bit there on the vulnerability of the opinion leader. So physical attacks will not be able to hit a character that is covered by something in the front row. So they will have to get through the Griffin before they can actually get through to the leader in the back row.
Nice dodge. Okay, that's another hit. So Warren can finish this. The fact that Gare swing and kill. Okay, Warren finished this. Excellent. Good job. So yeah, I'm not caring a lot about Griffin, bro, and everybody that loves Animal, please forgive me, but it's simply because the Griffin is there for protection only, despite him being able to make me move very fast. I do not rely on whatever attacks he do throughout the run, so that's why we are using it. In the best ending, actually, we switch over the Griffin for a word.
He's a magnificent meat shield, though.
The Castellation Sea. That's the first area where terrain actually plays a big part. As you can see, there's a lot of water around. The idea here is that the game strongly implies you have to use water units to gain an advantage through the game. That's not necessarily the case, but all around the whole world, the whole world. There we go. There are many maps where terrain play a huge part. Now, terrain has an influence on whatever unit you're using. For example, if in your unit you have characters that are, for example, mermaid, siren, cricket. Oh, that's rare. So you'll see something, for example.
Don't see this one often.
Octopus by Octopus. We do not recruit any neutral character in a speedrun. So, for example, if I was crazy enough to fight an octopus into the sea, that will be a very big problem, because it not only will it gain tremendous advantage, they will have a bonus to their attack, to their defense, to their dodging skills. So all in all, you prefer to fight a unit elsewhere. Alright, so right now what happened is that we got the best holy weapon in the game, the Brunhild sword. It's a weapon that is required for many endings. Not for the any ending actually, but it will be useful to recruit Judgment. One of the best character that we'll get in City of Malon. Sun card, that's not useful. Star, I already have more than enough. So as you can see, I can go through my Joker items pretty quickly. Emperor, I already have enough. Oh, Magician, that's
Yeah, Emperors are pretty good. They give you another round of attacks.
Yep. Okay. So there we go. And on the next map, I'll do this boss battle. And on the next map, if there are any messages or whatever you want to say or do, there will be more than enough time.
Sounds good.
Okay. Put the siren now. Porcius, the enemy boss, will always go first. She has very good agility. She has the ice storm spell, which will do a lot of damage, but she can only use it once. Warren misses. Nice. Griffin Bro only attacks front row. So the siren still woke up through the first round. So they will have to dance, but that's fine. No! So I will have to use an Emperor because I did a little mistake. Did not took attention to the damage done, and the mermaid in the back row was actually weaker. And we'll do that to boost the damage a little bit. 82. So if Warren and yeah, that was asking a lot out of Warren. Hey, wait. We still have that Emperor card on.
And here you're seeing a bit of the RNG in the boss fight. Sometimes you just miss.
46. So, oh, nice hit. Ah. Okay, that happens fairly often. That's okay. So what we'll be doing is using a bug in the game. Basically, each time you lose, your opinion, your unit, whichever it is forced to retreat like that. And normally the position, the movement is now set to the position where I am. However, if there was a character in my unit that died and I revive it, as you can see, movement is resumed. That's about it. So I won't take any chances and I'll end the battle straight away. There we go. To answer Azuark's question, yes, it's a damage boost. If you set your target to leader, you want your unit to target the enemy leader, and if you set your target to weak, they will target the character that has the lowest hit point in range. And if it does so, it will have an additional damage done to that character as well. All right. So, like I said just a few minutes ago, Balmorian runes, there could be a lot of things to say to this area, but I'll give myself a little break. So if you have any message, now would be a good time for you to do so.
The love has been pouring in for this run. Let's start with this $5 donation from Toady, who sends in a less than 3, the purest expression of love we have on the internet. And Margaret Ann sent in $10 and said, "Make like an ogre and break the town!"
Nice.
Thank you so much. Warner sent in $30.53, brought us up to a nice even $3,164. You know, pesky cents. No comment, but thank you so much for your generous donation to take this. And Racodactylus comments on this game's sound effects. They sent in $20 and said, "Got to love early voice acting in video games. Lucky! Liberation! Boo! Boo! Find out! Find it out! No, you're gonna have to forgive me if I got some of those wrong. I've never played this game. This is the first time I'm seeing it. But
Pretty sure those were all exactly how they sound in game.
thank you. I greatly appreciate that, Ruto.
So right
But
now,
go ahead, Rex.
okay. So right now, I just noticed a little problem that I have, and I may be in a bit of a problem. The upcoming boss, Albeleo, is one of the best run killers. He's a Duel Master. A Duel Master, oh yes, I'm safe. A Duel Master is a spellcaster that has access to Acid, which is an AoE attack of Earth. Now the problem is that a Duel Master can use it 2 times, and Albeleo has a very high intelligence, so he will do it twice and he can destroy your unit pretty fast. Now the problem that I had is I had no easy way to circumvent this, but I was lucky. I got a word card. Word allows you to get a magic shield which neuter any spell that is thrown at you. So for the first round, I will be okay. Otherwise, the option would have been to heal between each wave. Oh, that's fine. And it would have been very complicated.
Yeah, the world card is borderline cheating when you're up against casters.
Terribly. Okay, so speaking of caster, I will use the Chariot card. It's basically like a physical attack against the enemy units. And right now, my strength is being compared to Albeleo. And of course, since he's a spellcaster, his strength is not very high. So that is why Chariot do a bit of damage. Alas, the more the game goes on, the less useful Chariot will be. Alright. So we still have Warren and Aisha. Aisha misses, so that's a bad omen.
Go get him, Warren.
Right, so the Iron Guardian is done. So nearly done. I'll have to use any card that will do the job. Magician will be more than enough, and there we go. Albeleo is done. I'm using a time splitter on my end to see where we are, and I'm slowly but surely saving time despite the little mishap that has happened. So we should be on target.
Go.
Yeah, for the most part, gotten pretty lucky against the bosses and haven't had to do multiple refights.
Alright, so this is the last area before we decide which kind of run we want. When this area will be completed, the choice will be made. just to mention something. So if people want to throw their donation to tell me what kind of run we are having, now is the time. Either we sell our soul to the devil, or we marry the beautiful prince.
Well, I won't spoil what's in the lead right now, but y'all heard Rex. This is your last chance if you want to influence what run category this will be.
All right.
Yep, just remember the only thing required for evil to prevail is for good people to do nothing. So donate.
All right. So in this map is very huge, but luckily the path to get to the boss is very sinuous. So as you can see, there are walls, and of course you can get a termite if you do some subquests here, which can destroy the walls. But this time this is not a requirement. You can still access the enemy by land. That being said, if we send the opinion leader here and we have our reputation up to 2/3, or we have certain items, in this case we have the Broomhild sword, Tristan will appear and he will ask to join our army. We gladly welcome him, since he's a general and he has very good stat and very good attacks, so we'll be using him until the end of the game. The way we'll do so is very simple. We'll do the same thing we did for Aisha. So first of all, you deploy Tristan. Next, you use a mass summons that brings all of the units at the position of your opinion leader. You change your leader. You say goodbye to Warren, it did good. Next, we will equip the Broomhild on Tristan. That will have two effects. That will boost his strength, but also give his attack hold. And since his attack is a physical that can reach anywhere on the battlefield, yeah, it's a bit weird, but you heard me. Yanuki can reach any enemy characters against who we are fighting. So this fight will be doing just like I did. Basically, it's rinse and repeat. We go after him. We wait for Tristan to do his attacks, and we repeat. So as you can see,
Yanuki never misses when it matters.
Sorry about that. Yanuki can miss often, okay? And what's worse is that Tristan has 80% chance of hitting the boss. So when he misses like that, it's a little bit shameful.
Yep, and since the boss is sitting on a stronghold, they're also regenerating HP while we're on the world map here, so he's slowly wasting our time here.
Yeah. Now the other thing that you've seen is that one of my city was captured by the Empire. Each time it happens, it will have a reputation hit, and that's about it. But that can cost a lot, and Aisha for the kill. Good job. There we go. City of Malak. So now I need to know what is the outcome of this run.
All right, I'm gonna do one last refresh, see where that went, and oh my goodness. We started off talking about worst percent being in the lead. Well, any percent has now more than doubled that, with $60 to $30. You are getting the prince set. Was it prince, princess? I'm really sorry. But we are running any percent.
All right, sounds fine. So what this means is that we'll be skipping a few areas and going straight to the end. That will be a little bit harder because the ending is actually safer. But since we are using marathon strategy, it will still be very fun. Alright, so we are on a floating city. There are a total of 4 floating islands through the map. This is the only justice, nice. This is the only required floating island that you have to fight on. The other 3 are optional depending on if you get the adequate item, and in this case it's the broom head. We have it, but we don't need to go on any floating island in any route save for the best ending. Now in this area we are severely under level, so what we'll be doing is a very short grinding where Tristan will basically kill one undead and we will run away, and what will happen is that since we are very under level, it will basically give 1 level per battle to my opinion leader and my griffin. Not to say that the other two won't benefit from the experience as well, but seeing as those two especially are very weak at this point, we want to give them all of the chances to survive the battle a little bit longer. So what we'll be doing is confronting the enemy units right there. As you can see, there's a lot of undead, but since Tristan is currently wielding a holy weapon, he is able to kill the undead. We'll be doing that 4 times, each time gaining a level, and we'll be going from, I think, level 11 or something to level 15, which will be a very good caution for our unit.
Yeah, just imagine if you could level up this fast in Dragon Quest speedruns.
Wow, that would be amazing. Kind of like hitting a metal slime each time without having to worry if you hit him or if he runs away. There we go. Now if we let the Ninja Master attack, it will do an AoE ninja skill that will hurt everybody for a decent amount of damage. That is not something we want. Also, I want to put Tristan at the other side so that, well, wait, okay, so that his target is actually the undead and not the Ninja Master. Most of the time.
And also, experience is capped at 1 level per fight. So if we were to fight all of them at once, we wouldn't get 4 levels. We would just get the 1, and it's gonna be a waste of time.
Yeah. Alright, to answer Mario failing sound. That's not water. That's currently the void. So that means if you have anything but a flying unit, you will fall into the ground and your unit dies. So that's why it's required to have a floating flying unit. If, for example, I had a land unit here and I lose the battle and got expelled there, my unit falls to the ground and die, and I have to revive it through the menu.
You could say that Griffin is carrying the run.
Yeah, basically. Okay, so Prince Gears number 2. His little escape. Oh, good job, Tristan. But that's the only thing that really scaled. The rest of his attacks are much less of a threat than it was. That means Evil Dead will still do a bit of damage to our unit, but other than that, his physical and the rest will not destroy us as much as they did, and we will have a much better time against him. Of course, that is given the hypothesis that Tristan do his job, so I will give him a little nudge to please do so. Aisha hitting, that's good, and I'll use an Empress card because my Griffin will pretty much die very fast.
And so over the course of the run, we've had a few of our strongholds captured by the enemy. We already covered, went over what that entails. If they actually reach your start location and capture that, you fail the mission. So particularly toward the back end of the run, when the missions are getting longer and the maps are bigger, your timing becomes a bit tighter to accomplish your goals before they actually make it to your base.
Yep, and the consequence of that is that you are forced to retreat. Does not mean a game over, however. That only means if... Oh, good job, Aisha. There we go. That only means if you enter the map anew, all of the cities and temples that you have captured, not captured, sorry, liberated, will still be under your control but undefended. So basically you will have to rush to defend them because the enemy army's unit will be full once again and they will rush to capture back the cities. So that could be a big problem in the future. Luckily we don't rely on this. So even if, for example, I was to fail for whatever reason a map, I don't have to defend any of my captured city because the only city that I actually liberate is the boss city. Alright. Over there. We are entering the Highlands Stronghold. So this area is particular. It is a very huge area filled with lakes and mountains around. So basically that acts like a natural fortress. So movement is kind of hard. And also the local boss here is very peculiar. You will see once, oh, workout, nice. You will see, oh, judgment, 2 good draw in a row. And full, wow, I'm blessed. Okay, Lover's Axe, like a charm, we don't need it. Hermit is good. Okay, let's see what we have. Way too many stars. That will be enough. So yeah, the enemy will move up to the north to reach your base, and they will move also through the water to reach you. So they are attacking in one wave but using 3 different routes. That makes for a lot of land to cover. Luckily, we don't worry about this. There we go. So what we will be doing is heading straight for the boss, and we will be abusing a little mechanic in the game. The developers intended this fight so that they can both switch position. You will see once we get there. Alright, so we avoid the enemy units, and once we are safe we can head straight for the boss. There we go. And what is happening is that we'll be fighting Gemini brothers. Those two are pretty strong. They have 3 attacks, one of them being an AoE, one of them being a physical, and one of them being a combo attack. If they do their combo attack, they will switch position, and the one that was leader becomes a regular fighter, while the other becomes leader. So as you can see, 2 of them, but only one of them is the leader. What we'll be doing is we'll be killing the leader, then running away. Because the game intends of... Okay. Bad position straight away, that's fine. So we need to do something. I guess I'll be pumping cards to try and kill him fast. Okay, alright. So any card should pretty much do the trick. Let's go with not Chariot. They are pretty strong, so physical will not do a lot of damage. Why I'm slowly panicking is simple. My opinion leader back there is pretty much exposed, and I don't want her to die. Fine, and we run away. So as you can see,
no protection and only 20 HP is a very dangerous spot to be in.
Yes, as you saw, the game has not ended the battle, because normally there's a script in this battle telling that if they switch position, the leader change. However, once we get back to the map, the game tries to look for the enemy leader. But he's dead. We killed him. So we win. Simple as that. Bob Hope prevails. Alright, the assassin. Here's another big area where terrain plays a great part. It's a desert. There are no unit that are actually stronger through desert, or maybe they are, but in all of my playthrough I've never used them. So basically, if you use, for example, a unit that is specialized in snow here, they will have a very hard time because of the desert and the heat. This is also a very wide area, and there's a lot of enemy units that are beginning slowly but surely pretty strong. The local boss here is Poroshan the Ninja Master. As a Ninja Master, he has the highest agility in the game, which means that physical attack will have a hard time reaching him, and he also have a weakness against Holy, so we'll be abusing both of those. First of all, we set
I think we have a really strong holy weapon.
Yeah. We'll be putting Tristan in the front. That way, instead of having 1 little chance of hitting the enemy, he will have 3 chances. That's more reasonable. Alright. First thing we do is get rid of all of the ninjas around. I have way too many full cards.
And this is why the full card is so good. Now it's just the leader.
Next he'll do an AoE, but he will do only once, so that is good. We use the judgment card and you should see 150 or more damage. There we go. And Tristan misses. Aisha hit. That's good. Okay, that did little damage. I'll give a star so that Tristan will now have a way better chance of hitting Poroshan. Good job.
Nice.
To answer to MK Cyborg, they are not dead. They have fleet. So if, for example, you did damage and use the full card and you get into the battle once again, they will be there. They are only not present in the current battle, so that gives you a much better chance at hitting the enemy unit.
Yeah, and that makes it really important that on the fights that you use the full card, you make sure that you win on the first try, because if you have to come back, then you've got the full enemy group there. If you don't have a backup full card, then the fight changes a bit.
Exactly. Alright, Fort Shalala, another very dangerous area. And that's an area that is filled with mountains. So if you have any mountain unit, now is a good time to deploy it. Also, the enemies that we'll be fighting are, of course, pretty strong, and especially the local general here, General Previa, is particularly nasty. Hierophant, no, I have many full card, I don't need it. Hermit, I can take it. Oh, I love Judgment. Judgment is
some pretty lucky jokers here.
Oh yes, I have extremely good drawing tarot cards, so up to now that's pretty interesting. Right, so stretch my deck, that's always good. In this area, we'll be trying, put that in quote, to save the crew. What's happening is that if you take the time to liberate all of the temple and all of the city, you learn that the runaway prince's mother, so Tristan's mother, is actually being held by General Previa. So the idea is to try to rescue her. So we'll get... no, I won't take it. So we'll see what happens to her once we defeat Previa. What happens is that once you liberate that particular temple, you will get a very good sword that is called the Fafnir, which gives plus 15 to strength and fire damage to your character. That will be helpful a little bit later. Nope, not needed anymore. I have more than enough cards. So shop will be buying our ears. 3 of those, that will be enough. Since I haven't used any yet. 28, because I want to buy at least 1 revive, since I've used the one earlier. There we go. Now we go to this temple right here, because the little imp is trying his best to get on our position. Also because this temple gives us another good sword, the Notus sword. Fortune is a double-edged sword. It can either raise or lower your reputation. There. Now that we have the Notos, we will equip it straight away on Tristan, because General Previa is actually a little bit weaker to ice. There we go. And now we move over there. How many sunshines do I have? 4. Okay, so I can use 1 sunshine. There.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's actually important because the actual time of day helps in your battle. So if you have, for example, holy character in your unit, they fight better at day, and they fight they are at a disadvantage at night. Oh no. Oh, good hit, Tristan. That's good. So first of all, weak, and next star, if only to help me. Star, of course, gives a major boost to agility, so basically you have a better chance at hitting the enemy unit. Sometimes. That's true for physical, much less true for magic. Also, it gives you a better chance at dodging attack, so that's why I used it.
Yeah, agility is kind of everything for physical fights in this game.
As you can see, my opinion leader's damage is extremely slow, but that's not why we are keeping her in our party. So he's in range for any card that I use. Let's use Hermit. And so that is why the Fool card is very helpful.
Yeah, if you try to fight that whole group, it is pretty brutal. So being able to remove those 4 extra enemies just it's a huge deal.
Alright, so to tell chat and the viewers what was happening, alas, we could not save Tristan's mother. She was effectively assassinated by Previa, and if your reputation is at least 2/3 up to the top, Tristan will then give you the Mystic Armband, which is one of the Mystic Treasure and is required for the best ending. This armband, by the way, only takes an inventory slot. It's not an item that you can use or equip through the run, but it's fun to have nonetheless. Alright. As you can see, the land is different. First of all, it's entirely covered in snow. So if you have any snow units, that's a good place to use them. The other thing that you need to take into account is now we are officially invading the Empire. We are no more liberating the cities. We are fighting in the Empire's inner land, and as such, all of the temple and all of the cities, save for the little temple that is right near your tree empress. save for the temple that is right very near the rebel base. There we go. So if you liberate any city and any temple, you will take a hit in reputation because you are invading, and as such every location is still fiercely strong, fiercely loyal to the empire. So you need to take this into account in a casual playthrough, because this map and the next are the two areas where it is strongly suggested that you rush to the boss and you liberate the cities after. Apologies, there we go. So we head over there. We have enough cover card, that's good. So we use the sunshine only to give an advantage to our unit. We'll be fighting Overlord Highcash. He's a very strong opponent. He has 6 attack. The first of them being a gale attack that will do a good amount of damage, and after that it will slice 5 times. Hopefully we won't give him the time to do all of his attacks. Once again, fool to get rid of the muses. The muses are an additional threat in this map. Alright, so weak. There we go. For the rest we're good. Good job, Tristan. He did not do as much damage because I forgot to switch the Fafnir. Aisha missing, that's pretty normal. Phantom did 40, that's good. Now Magician will do a big amount of damage. That's normal because Highcash has a weakness to fire.
Yeah, I love the pixel art on this guy. This is one that I would love to have like a statuette of.
Yeah. And Aisha, oh no kidding. We'll finish. There we go. Good job. So as you can see, our friend the Griffin is extremely helpful. If you have any message before we tackle the next area, feel free to do so.
Oh, absolutely. So the next game on our schedule is actually City Skylines, and you might be thinking that's a little different. That's a little unusual. Why are you bringing this up during Ogre Battle? Completely different, modern day in fantasy world, right? Well, we didn't get to destroy the world in this run because you all donated for any percent. How could you, chat? How could you? The good news is, we do have an incentive where you can destroy the city at the end of the City Skylines run. If we reach our target goal of $250, Azurark, our next runner, will use all the power of the elements. That's right, the same elements that nearly knocked out this run. We'll be destroying the city, and we're a little under $40 away from meeting that. So please get your donations in. I would love to see that met before that run starts. And I did mention it is thanks to your generous donations that we are on the any percent category. And that includes donations like this $20 from Anatolu, who was very excited to see that 1, we have any percent available, and 2, they say, hey, look, it's Yanuki.
Nice. Oh, Judgment. Sweet. I'm getting so many good cards. Okay, we'll replace Devil card because Devil is actually Darkness. Oh, Emperor. Okay, Darkness Elemental attack, and at this point, all of the enemy bosses will be pretty strong against Darkness. Now, the other thing that we'll worry about is equipping the Broomhill on Tristan so that it'll do holy damage, and there we go. Now, once again, we are still into Empire territory. As such, we must not liberate the other cities. The other thing is that we will cross path with a very familiar unit in a few moments. I'll be keeping the suspense. What's happening? What? Oh,
It's building.
oh wow. Who is he? Yes. You're right, that's Gears, the same Gears that we fought twice. So what's happening? basically he's currently only a leader of a unit. There are 2 units or 3 formation, I kind of forgot, because usually you don't spend enough time to meet them, but he's as strong as he is earlier, but he is not the enemy leader of this place, so something is very wrong indeed. All right, so just a little safety grinding there. 1 level is always a good idea, especially since I just saw my hit point and I just grow a lot more worried. We'll get to that in the next area. All right. The boss here is the Black Queen Empress Endora. She has 5 attacks per battle, all of them being any of the spells that are in this game, and she will only pick AoE. So if you don't have any way to neuter her spells, you're in a land of trouble. Luckily we have the word card, which will allow... Oh, Tristan is there. Okay. I don't know if he can get to Endora, we'll see. There we go. Nope, he cannot. This is fine. We still can afford 1 round. So let's do this. Yep. Tristan in the front row against Endora will be a better option. And I still have another word card, so this is fine. Alright, I'll be using a star card to make sure that Tristan actually hit her like that.
Yeah, thanks Tristan for perfectly demonstrating why the star card is necessary.
Yeah. Basically, Tristan is nicknamed Miston. You get the idea why. So, the Empress Endora has one of the highest intelligence rate in the game. That means spells, except for tarot card, will have a pretty hard time hitting her and do damage. That is why we want Tristan to actually do damage at her. Usually I will put him in the back row because Yanuki will do a lot of damage, but then I would have to rely a lot on tarot card to do so. So basically what I'm doing is improvising, which is every speedrunner's best word. So 121, she's in range, especially since my other 2 seems keen to hit her. That's good. One. That's a miss. So we still have 1 attack from the Griffin and 1 attack from Tristan. That's good, and uh-oh.
Hey, come on, Tristan, it's a layup.
There we go. Good job.
I never doubted.
We had faith. Alright, so the Black Queen is dead. Everybody rejoice. The game is over. Is it? No. Because the main reason...
fireworks.
The main reason why she could actually conquer all of this land is because the sage Rashidi, which was one of the most beloved characters in this area, has actually betrayed all of his friends, especially King Gran of Zenobia, to switch back to the darkness and help her conquer the land. And once you begin liberating all of the cities into the Zetaginian kingdom, you end up understanding that Rashidi is actually up to a very evil scheme right here in Temple Sharina. So what we are trying to do is to stop that. And that is why we are here. Now, the main point of this stage is that instead of having 2 samples of each unit for a total of, for example, 20 units to fight against. You will get 255 samples of each unit for a grand total of 2095 battles that you can wage in this area. Wow, I'm getting so much great cards. So as you can understand, this can pretty much spell your doom, especially if you take the time to do all of these battles, because you will get strongly overpowered first of all, and second, you will spend so much time in this place, your reputation will end up dropping to the very bottom. So basically that's the kind of map you want to rush. So
Just sitting here thinking about how awful a true 100% run would be because of this map.
oh boy, no, that is not there's a 100% category that I ran a few times. Requires you to have all of the key items and all of the key characters, but not all of the cities liberated and so on. That would be not only pointless, that will take a very big amount of time.
It'll only take like 3 days. It'll be fine.
Something like that. Alright, so since we are here, let's buy all of the jokers that we can afford. There we go. And let's check on Bob Hope's progression. Moving there to avoid all of the enemy units. They'll be coming in waves. No need to worry, as anyway we intend to finish this before they reach our base. So now that we avoided the Valkyrie, we are safe to head over there. We'll be using our last sunshine. There we go. Just making sure we have good weapon. I'll be equipping the fat meal on, but I think you have the rune axe. Oh, that's fine. Whatever. Next formation. There we go. Tristan is much more useful in the back row for these battles. We'll be doing a boss rush. There are 3 bosses in a row here. First one being a very good friend of ours. Hey, that's Gears. But that's actually the original copy. What's more, just as in Temple Shalina, his level has scaled, but the rest has not. So that would be an easy battle. Good job, Tristan. Evil Dead will still do a bit of damage, but as you can see, the impact is much less threatening than it was earlier.
Oh, nice try, Griffin.
Those 2 missing does not change anything, because anyway, Phantom would have done a very little amount of damage, and Griffin would probably have done the same. There we go. Gears down, first boss down.
And Griffin tries so hard. It's always nice to see him get that 1 damage in.
And we get to see the true antagonist of this game, Rashi. 2 things. When you get the message box that says you have encountered an enemy unit, you have the option of pausing the game if you press start or B, which I did. Second, Rashidi is extremely strong. Sage, 6 attack in a battle, has access to all of the AoEs, plus many skills. I don't have a word card, so that will complicate things a lot. We're still okay. This is fine. Let's use a magician to start things. So that means it will do a very good amount of damage on each attack. As you can see, ouch. I'll have to heal each time. That was only a silly mistake, because usually I keep a word card around. Now the drawback to Rashidi is that as a sage, He's not a very strong character, which means he's rather squishy. And that is why Yanuki did a very good amount of damage. Hey! Okay, I was thinking that it hit it, and I was happy without a reason. Oh, nearly done. I'm not waiting for Rashidi to die because it's highly hypothetical that any of my character can finish the fight. Especially since Tristan does not have any attacks remaining, and Aisha has both, but since he's a sage, the chance of hitting him are rather low. Alright, Rashidi dead. GG, we won. Oh.
Or did we?
Let me read. What's happening? Uh-oh, I don't like the tone of this at all. Let's just do a few things to prepare ourselves. Strongly implied that you need to heal. Hangman will reduce defense, no thank you. Moon is completely useless. Even in a regular playthrough, Hierophant will not help me. Tower strength against a god, no thank you. Oh wow.
What happened to the good cards?
Yeah, they are all gone. Fool would be useful in any other app. That's a good one. I'm looking for attack spell, and if I can get myself an Emperor card, I would be happy. That being said, okay, we're good. Anyway, we have plenty of very good cards, so let's go. Here's the true boss, the Black God Diablo. He's pretty strong, but he has a weakness to this. Let's abuse it. Okay. Basically, I'll be spamming cards in the hope of killing him as fast as possible, because otherwise he can do a lot of damage. Griffin grow out of the portrait means that my opinion leader
chat.
is exposed. Gold to Aisha, that's good. Come on, finish this. Oh, 55. You were so close. Hit. That should do the trick. And time.
GG.
GG's.
Alright, well the Griffin didn't survive the final fight, so we gotta run it back and do the whole thing again.
Yeah, I know. Luckily, I have a save file that's on the end map, so that should help us. But we're just joking there.
Oh wait, is that a real thing? I
No.
So yeah, the game.
You got me.
The game is programmed to give you bonus treasure each time you complete a map, but as you can understand, we have reached the final area and we won the game. So even if we got a whooping 56k of money, that does not change anything. So since we got any ending, we got to marry the beautiful prince. So Bob Hope will be betrothed to Tristan. Yay!
This name is still like the best incentive tie I've ever seen.
Yeah, totally. Alright. So I do think that we have met another incentive. Didn't we?
We did. In fact, you had a fire seal map incentive,
Yeah.
and we have met that. Thank you all so much for raising the $150 we needed to get that goal. And so, whenever you're ready, I don't want to cut short the happy wedding of Tristan and Bob Hope, but whenever you're ready, feel free to take us into it.
Yeah, no worry. I'm just letting the credits appear, and then I'll reset, and we'll be setting up for the next bonus map. That's a pretty short map.
All right,
There we go.
while we're letting... Ooh. Okay,
Go ahead,
while we're
go
letting
ahead.
that roll and get that set up, I just want to remind you all that the RPG Valkyries are raising money for Take This with this event, Speedrun Ragnarok 2023. And Take This is a mental health nonprofit whose main mission is to inform the gaming community about mental health issues, provide education on different disorders, prevention techniques, and reduce the overall stigma around mental illness. Thanks to your generous donations, we have raised over $3,200 this event so far. And of course, that donation link is still open. You can still donate. We still have great incentives for you to open. I mentioned City Skylines earlier, our next game coming up. Did you know that actually when you donate in our event, you have a chance to win prizes each day? Exclamation mark prizes will get you a link to that document. And one of the prizes you can win actually is a City Skylines Steam Key bundle donated by the runner of the next game, Azuark. A donation of any amount gets you a chance to win that, along with some other fantastic prizes, and also a chance to win our fantastic grand prizes, which include a trans rights custom Game Boy Advance. So please make sure you check that out while you're here. And I see we're ready to go on Fire Seal. So when you're ready, NorthRex, take it away.
Yeah, just want to mention that I would very much like to get that Game Boy Advance. Alright, so Fire Seal is a bonus map. So basically, as soon as I enter yes, instead of doing the whole game, I'll be doing a single map. But instead of doing it at level 1, we'll be at a very high level, and we will get very strong unit because we'll be facing once again Albelio and a lot of very strong enemies. So let's do it. Basically, the idea is that I pick a male opinion leader. So normally, especially for this marathon, I would have picked a woman. So please forgive me for this little mishap. So basically, what we are doing is trying our best to pick any card. It does not matter. And we'll be storming the place to finish this map as fast as possible. There is a category for this little map, and the world record stands at 2 minutes 50 seconds something. We'll be spending a little bit more time because it will be safety strat. Other than that, if we're lucky, we will get a princess into our army, which would be tremendous. And I will explain while doing the map why a princess is always the strongest unit you can have in an Ogre battle game. Okay, so we did not have very good card, but that does not matter much. Alright, let's see. So princess is very strong in this game. What they do is if you set your leader to a princess is a unit, it will actually give an additional attack to your, and there we go, sweet, we have a princess. So what this does is every character in my unit will attack one more time. So that's a huge advantage. Also, its attack is Holy Elemental Attack AoE. So that's a very strong attack as well. Usually we don't go to this place, but since it's the shop and we are doing safety strats, I'll be buying as many jokers as I can to give myself a little chance. Now we head over there and we have a look. I have a full card. That's good. Okay, Emperor is interesting. Priestess, no thank you. Fortune, yes, I'll take it. If I'm unlucky, I will have to use the Judgment card. Not the Judgment, the Fortune card actually. Temperance, no thank you. Death is useless always. Death card, what it does, it will insta-kill any character of the opposing unit, which hit point is actually lower than 50%, and it will never work against the enemy leader regardless of whatever leader you're fighting. So basically, even in a casual playthrough, you're not necessarily hoping to use your death card. Alright, so the idea is to get in this corner, that way we'll be avoiding a lot of the enemy units. The enemy name, the leader's name is always Lexar in this map. Okay. So I have now the occasion to show you what the fortune cards does. It makes the enemy unit run away. That's a one-time occasion, because that's not the thing you usually depend on in a standard playthrough. Just a little bit too tight. It does not matter much, because at this point we have a corridor for albedo right there, so this is very fine. Hello, yeah, that's the very same albedo we fought earlier, so if you take the time to fight him, he will do a lot of damage once again. Luckily we have a full card and we'll be using as many tarot card as possible to kill him fast. Magician is great. Those are beastmen, so they basically are the same thing as the werewolf. They turn as beastmen. They are a little less strong. Oh, one hit point. Will stall out. Finish this. There we go. Time.
Princess for the win.
Just like that, we won the special map.
Wow.
The reward for this is basically to enjoy the game. There's not a special reward to this map except to play with some very interesting units. Sometimes you can get your hands on a Lich. A Lich is the strongest spellcaster in the game. So, but other than that, it's only to play rather a neat map, and as that wine bliss has indicated, you will get the ending fortune. Other than that, that's pretty much what I had to show to everybody today.
All right. Well, thank you so much for that, NorthRex. I think you did amazing. And can I let you know your time? Would you like to know your time?
On my regular run, I did 1:24:23 plus some milliseconds, and
Well, even with the little mishap,
yeah,
on the screen we have 1 hour, 24 minutes, and 25 seconds.
yeah. So my PB stands at 1:20 something. So if you removed the fact that my console actually had a problem, I would most probably have PB that run. But other than that, the world record for any category stands at 1 hour and 1 minute. That's a ridiculous time. And
That's crazy.
what's amazing for this run is that they just recently opened all of the possible ending as category. Given that there are 13 different cards and ranking you can get, that means there is 13 different category for this run, so plenty of field to cover.
All right, and if that's something you're going to challenge, or maybe just even going for that PV that you were so close to, where can people find you?
Usually these days I'm streaming weekly during the day. I'm not doing Ogre Battle Run lately because I have a lot more time to run, actually, because of health issue. So I'm currently concentrating on longer run. So you can find me on my stream usually doing either Dragon Warrior 4 or Final Fantasy 6 run. If I have less time available, I'm usually doing Fantasy Star 4 run, or given that I have very little time, I can throw in a few runs of Ogre Battle as well. Eventually, the situation should settle itself, and I will be back on a more, let's put that in quote, regular schedule where I will have less time, so I will do a shorter run. Or I may do challenge runs as well. That's what I'm doing. Speed runs and challenge runs most.
And Ruto, thank you so much for joining us on today's run. If people want to hear more of your commentary or maybe see what you do, where can they find you?
Yeah, so I mostly just stream on Saturdays at this point on Twitch. For the most part, I'm working on the first 6 Dragon Quest game speedruns. A little bit of side stuff like the Monsters games, and recently Aliens Dark Descent, which came out just a few months ago. That's been a fun speedrun that I've been working on. We're hoping to get some more free time to get back to doing some casual playthroughs during the week, but for now it's mostly just Saturday afternoons.
All right, well, once again, thank you both for that run, for saving the world. Gosh, I can't believe Chat did that. And I saw you, Chat. You were doing this to challenge NorthRex.
You guys can make up for it by donating to burn the city to the ground of the next game.
Yeah.
Took the words right out of my mouth. We do have City Skylines coming up next. We'll be right back with that game. And maybe we'll get some world destruction there. See you soon.